Hello, everyone. Let's have a serious thoughts, talks, flow, whatever you want to call this video. Video. Let's talk about relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, all kind of other, I don't know, business relationships, whatever you want to call them, family relationships. Uh, for people following the raw vegan lifestyle, the those pioneers that will lead to the world going, back to a paradise, back to a good place. That's what the raw vegan revolution. That's what the whole thing's about. So, so don't just think you're doing this for yourself. This is you've really got the future of humanity in your hands when you're eating fruit. So, for me, I've not about 5 years ago when I started to get into the raw veganism. I think I definitely lost a few friends, and I broke up with an ex girlfriend, but that wasn't necessarily the result of going raw vegan, but it was around about the same time. So it wasn't the reason for it, but but maybe some of the friends were, because some of them thought it was a bit unusual, but there was more to it than that. That it wasn't actually anything to do with that. Come to think of it, it might have been. It might have been. I don't know. So probably me personally, I'm not the greatest with friendships and relationships anyway. Not been in a lot of relationships with like romantic relationships. Um, and in terms of friendships, I think I'm not. I'm not. I don't think I'm a very good friend. Um, I don't know if I'm particularly good at making friends, keeping friends, staying in touch with people. And what I tend to notice, if I don't get in touch with people, I basically never hear from them. So I'm not someone that people are kind of and I don't mean this in a pitying way. I just mean I don't think people aren't like reaching out to see me or speak to me. So I'm not, you know, the most entertaining or whatever people want from a friend. Maybe I'm not very. I don't know. Not not giving. Don't give them what they need or want in their life, whatever. And I don't know if raw veganism has made that like worse or not, because I don't think raw vegan friends are reaching out to me anymore or any less or whatever. So I don't know. Um, I think it might make things difficult. I definitely have heard women, girls. I don't know what the right phrase is for women of my age that I would date. Ladies, females, um, whatever the appropriate term is. I don't know if they. I don't think they're very happy to go out with someone that's not from the city that I live in, that isn't doesn't have the same major addictions that they have, drinking alcohol, which is basically drinking alcohol. Just I just think it just destroys people. You know, it turns people into like boring, dull, like no personality, like not no personality, but like nothing original about them. I think it's something like that. No originality. Something just becomes something bad about it. I don't know. maybe that's just my perspective on it. Right, so that probably is just my perspective. Um, Cigarettes, coffee, all that rubbish. So when you go onto dating apps and you see girls on dating apps and you connect with them and speak to them, and you go into their pictures and they're like drinking in their pictures or smoking or whatever else, and I always uh, I, something when I was younger, and I don't know why this is, but when I was younger, I kind of had this expectation that women would be kind of better than men. You know, I had this expectation that women would um, be smarter than men and wouldn't do some of the dumb things that guys do. And guys have a legitimate excuse for doing some of these dumb things, but I always expected that women wouldn't be dragged down, but consequently I would always be really what's the phrase, like disheartened. That's not quite the right word, but this, yeah, kind of disheartened, or just when I started to realise that um, all of the women of my generation and age group just allowed themselves to all their kind of standards as a human being to like drop to kind of rubbish levels. You know, it's like none of them seemed to be aspiring for any kind of personal greatness within themselves. Just all the same nonsense, like drinking, taking whatever, smoking, and doing all this rubbish. You know, just following the crowd. It's kind of rubbish. It's a bit of a rant there, but that's not really an honest reflection of all the women of my generation. But it confused me. It can always confuse me. I was like, why are they doing all the dumb things that why are they trying to do all the dumb things that guys are doing? And there is a real kind of problem in our society, a little bit like I'm not even going to get into that. It's going to sound wrong. If whatever I say about that's going to sound wrong. But what I'm saying is, I always had this imaginary, and it's actually a thing in. Apparently, it's like a psychological thing called the ideal female, where I heard a guy speak about it, and I thought, wow, that's really exactly what I went through, which is in, you know, maybe you're a teenager or whatever, and you don't see women as they are. You fall in love with a woman, or you get infatuated, or you're attracted to them, and you see them as like the ideal woman, the ideal feminine. And I don't know if women have the same thing with men. Maybe that's true. But you see them as like this ideal, and you build them up, and so when you go and try and speak to them, you can't even believe that it's like a real person or something. It's crazy, and in order for you, but and almost you avoid speaking to them because you don't want the whole myth to break down and realize that it's just a person, you know. So anyway, as part of that, I probably had all these elevated ideas that women would kind of take care of themselves, be a bit smarter about things like that, and you realise that maybe they're not any smarter than, you know, we're all on the same plane. Where was I going with all that? Yeah, so just when coming back to Tinder, and you just and it's almost like there's certain types of people that it's like they think it's kind of impressive that they drink and get drunk and all this stuff, and they drink coffee in the morning and all this, and it's like none of this is impressive. This is just or funny or anything to a health conscious person like me, you know. None of it is exciting in any way. it doesn't make me think that you're an adventurous, interesting, cool person that I can get drunk with. Because I'm not going to get drunk. So, so it's not that I wouldn't want to date these people, but I just feel that they would sift me out of the process because they would feel like, oh, vegan, doesn't drink, blah blah blah, takes care of himself. Oh my goodness, you know. And I really don't believe in the idea of trying to like convert someone. Not trying to convert anyone, but I do. It doesn't stop me finding people attractive that do all that stuff, that drink and all that. Because at the end of the day, people, you might connect with someone in some way you don't quite understand. So I'm all about all these things, but people will still say things like, "Oh, we're not the same. We're too different." It's what someone said to me once. We're too different, and you know, I just try and enjoy. So always the things with the different. I think the difference between me and some of the people, and sometimes and I know that women will say things that maybe they don't really mean because they're protecting your feelings or whatever. They'll say, "Oh, we're not really the same type of person," or something, or too different. I think, well, it doesn't. Who cares? Let's just let's just enjoy. Let's just enjoy living right now. Let's just enjoy spending time together. I never understood why people couldn't just enjoy things. Just try and enjoy life. So regardless of all that, I think probably it would be best if you're gonna be a raw vegan and have a relationship to find another raw vegan, or at least think that that's probably the best thing to do. And with friends, even it might even help if they're all raw vegan. but there's not that necessarily many around, so that's why we're all trying to stimulate, get more people involved. But I don't know. I mean, how have you found it with relationships, with friendships, and things like that? Have you had struggles or concerns? I don't know if I need a relationship or friendship as much as other people do. I certainly do think I probably do need it, but I don't need it. This doesn't make sense, but I don't pursue it as much as other people. Yeah, and I've been single for years, and maybe I'm better off that way. I don't really know. I'm getting to an age now where I'm like in my early 30s, and I think I'm kind of past the age for. I do think I've kind of like past the age for having a family and stuff like that. I think that's maybe that opportunity or that window's gone. Because although as a man you can continue to have children for forever. Like, what are you going to do? Have children? You can't. You're unlikely to. Like, it's if you've reached kind of 32 without finding someone and having kids and stuff, it's probably a sign that you've probably, like, if you're 32, think about it this way. If you're 32 like me, or am I 33? I think I'm 32, and a man, and you're single and you've not got kids, the chances of you having kids are probably really small, mathematically. I'm not saying the individual can't, but mathematically, it's probably much less likely to happen. That might be different now as people kind of have kids later, but I don't know. That's my thoughts. I mean, if you've reached my age as well, um, without getting married or having kids, then you have to think about how many thousands of women you've been near and around, and none of them thought that you were worth marrying, or, or none of them thought you were worth getting in a relationship with, apart from a tiny, tiny, incredibly small fraction. Um, and out of that small fraction, none of them thought you were worth it in the end either. So you've got to stay positive about these things, but you do need to be realistic and go, do you know, there's probably other things to focus on, like all the other great joyous things in life, you know. So this has been quite a long thing. Yeah, probably going raw vegan is going to affect some of your family and friendships and stuff like that. Don't let other people take like 20 or 30 years off your life because they tell you to eat what they're eating. That's just silly, you know. Don't go and eat junk food and kill yourself and give yourself diseases to have a friendship. I mean, I don't know if there's other people. Do you know what I mean? There's not that many. There's no other diets don't give you the benefits that the raw vegan diet will. So there are other human beings. There really are, and that's all I'll say for now. Hope some of this connects and you enjoy it, and pass it on and subscribe and ask me some questions down below. Let's keep these videos going. Okay, thank you.